Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Lil Joe here. We got a 2004 Lexus LS430. Customer states that the right rear door lock actuator isn't working. So we'll have to tear off the door panel. We'll get into it and let's figure it out. One easy test is to hit like near the actuator with a dead blow or rubber mallet, and it kind of jars the actuator while someone's trying to work it. And sometimes that can bring it back to life, and that can help you to verify that the rest of the circuit's okay. And then basically you're just knocking the actuator and it tends to work. So easy way to prove.
I don't know if you could see it. It actually did slightly move. So that's letting me know that we probably are going to end up having a bad door lock actuator. It seems like it's getting a signal, but a lot of times you can get it to work completely on its own. This one, not so much.
All right, so we're going to work on taking the door panel off. First thing we're going to do is there's a plastic cover and there's a screw hidden behind here. There's also going to be 3 screws along the bottom of the door.
Phillips head.
Phillips head. Okay, there's also, we're going to move the switch panel. See if there's a screw hidden behind there. It does kind of take a little bit of work. It slides into the front and snaps into the back. Disconnect this and set it out of the way. There's another hidden screw there. There's a decorative piece on the window support here. You can come from the outside with the window rolled down. So this is the decorative cover on the window support. It was kind of pushing into the upper part of the door panel. We was able to get this side loose, but it was still binding. So I pried up here with a screwdriver and pushed out the top part, and it popped off the rest of the way. Nope. Okay, door panel pulls up, it loops over top. We'll disconnect the cables. Lower door panel light. One thing to inspect too while you're in there is the door cable. Sometimes they break. The white one is the door lock, the green one is the door latch. So then we'll have to remove this dust cover. This is our connector for our actuator and switches in there. There's a push tab on the back. Okay, so we're going to check the black wire, which is on the end, while operating. So we're getting a signal there. We're going to check the terminal number 3, which is blue and black. The same thing. We're getting power there, and then it alternates with the ground. Okay, we're going to remove the door lock actuator. We're going to move these 3 T30 bolts. One more here on the side. And she comes. So what you can do is with the actuator out of the car, you can replace just this is the actuator, the black part here. That is very expensive from Toyota. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take it apart and see if we can replace just the motor part, which is housed right in here. So we're going to take a couple of these screws out, remove the actuator, and then disassemble the actuator. So part of the actuator loops over to here. It's tied into part of the latch. See if we can work it out. Okay. And I'm going to pop the cable loose and make things a little bit easier on the side here. Okay, so there's that. We'll try a couple pry points. Okay, and that's the motor. So the motor just pried out, fairly easy, and then the gear just slides right off, and we have a replacement that doesn't look too promising, but the customer provided the part. There it goes. I just wasn't holding my mouth right. So the pins slide into the motor. We're going to face those up and just put it back in place. Put the cover back on. Snaps together. One part we had to work out. Install your cable back in. You got to loop that around the bottom where it originally went. Pop that in place. It holds that. All right, so we got our new motor in, and we're going to basically do a bench test to make sure that it's working. Go ahead. Oh. Okay. And as you can see, we ended up putting a screw in there to help hold the case together, because even though we was able to pop it apart, it is actually glued together, and we originally had some issues with the case wanting to pop apart. So we put some adhesive on there, put a screw in there, that way we can go ahead and test it and they can operate without it coming apart. Now, next we're going to install it back. Okay, so the main thing you have to worry about is lining this back up with the door handle. Put the latch back in, putting the plastic back on. I ran the cables back through the plastic. For the most part, the adhesive is still very malleable and it sticks and works, and so I just left it on. Get that back on, we'll work on putting the door panel on now. Got our light. Okay, green was the door. White was the lock. We'll hook it over top of the door frame. Do a quick test, see if the door works. All right, works good. I also had tested that with the before closing the door with a screwdriver, because if you can't get it open in this latch, it's a lot harder to get the door back open. Okay, start putting the screws back in. The main one here. One behind the door latch or door handle. Then just put that back on. Okay, switch. Test that out. What's this thing? All right, everybody, that wraps up another one. It wasn't the quickest repair, but it was the cheapest. So, you know, got to install the motor and the actuator, put it back together, everything works. Customer will be happy about that. So, any comments, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.